Looking for an angle back to try to claim this turtle, but Sensui is one level ahead. Yue dealing some good damage. The Terrify as well to pressure Kibaba. That's an explosion from Renegade. Forcing the nether realm, but Edward looking for the flank right now. Jumps in with a jab. Another one to take the nether realm HP. That's Yue with another nether realm as well, and Renegade will fall. Deus Volt have won on this team fight. Appraiser's right. Nice flicker from Kibaba with amazing flicker. Sensui disengaging. Now it's going to be Edward jumping out of Sunset Lover, finding the kill. And Carvey flicker forward onto the minion waves. Edward still surviving. The torn apart memory dealing not enough damage to take him down as Oheb rotates as well. Meanwhile, Magister with a good steal onto the enemy purple buff. Blacklist International lose out on this turtle pit fight.
We're only 5 minutes in, guys. 5 minutes in on game one. And Deus Volt and Blacklist International are swinging right now. It's been a kill a minute, technically.
I kind of feel like for Blacklist, the idea is we start the engage. Don't allow Deus Volt to start the engage, because for Deus Volt to win the team fight, they got to go in hard. They got to make sure whatever they want, they get it as fast as they can, because Blacklist International, even though they don't have a healer, this is how they play. They know how to play prolonged team fights. So Blacklist International, they're completely fine with committing first, force Deus Volt to use all of their skills, and then they just take over the team fight later. Blacklist International, they're playing with Deus Volt. Deus Volt has to recognize this. You got to be proactive. Don't let Blacklist do whatever they want first.
And that's due to the rotation speed, right? That game of prio that Blacklist International are slowly utilizing to get this lead. It just seems like Deus Volt, even when they want to retaliate, they get there a bit too late.
Man, Edward is definitely going to be the saving grace of the team right now. 2-0-0. He had about 1,000K gold lead over Kibamba, or about an 800K gold lead over Kibamba. He is just feeling himself right now.
I can't believe he has 1,000K.
1,000K.
That's like, what, a million?
That's
it's a lot.
That's a lot of, yeah.
You understood what I was saying.
Yeah. Nah, you know, analysts. Anyways, looking at the situation here, looks like Blacklist International, they are hovering around the turtle pit. They're trying to figure out where Deus Volt is. They see Magister. And I kind of feel like they should have an idea of where Sunset Lover as well as Carby is. They just confirmed it. They just confirmed it. So now, Blacklist International, they're waiting for a setup coming in from Renegade.
Sensui has got an angle, a great one. The last hit, he jumps in all the way, but Magister is the one who picks it up. A bit of a miscalculation by Sensui as Carby dishes out some damage. Edward gonna be caught right now, flickers out, but will still fall to Kibamba.
They needed that. They needed that kill on Edward. It was very important to slow him down. Deus Volt still behind, but keeping up overall.
Implosion onto that top side, shoving him back as well. The Netherrealm saves him just for a bit. Carby with a good stun onto Yue, but that's another realm stolen away. Torn apart memory gonna be used up, but not the right timing. Yue flickers out to safety, and just like that, both teams disengage once again. Sensui baiting.
Let me just say, Sunset Lover is a lover. He's all around the map. Every single time someone gets picked off, quote-unquote picked off, he's there with the Netherrealm. The movement coming in, and especially because we looked at his emblem set, all about movement speed. He wants to make sure that he's a utility mid laner, but the thing is, now he has the Necklace of Durance. 2 more items, he becomes a damage dealer as well.
Definitely very true. Stats starting to get evened out here. Taking a look at some of the items. Oheb's closing in on that Berserker's Fury. Once he gets that and he can start rotating around the map a bit, and there it is, it just locked in. Now we're going to start seeing some damage really start to unload from Oheb.
That's the thing, right? For the power spikes, even though Oheb is gaining gold at a very good pace, Brody's going to hit his power spike a bit earlier. So Blacklist International needs to be very careful about this mid-game power spike. They're already getting turrets across the board. Carby's doing the same, trading it up top. But Blacklist seems like they want to go for more. I don't know if Kibamba can defend this all alone, but he should be able to clear the waves off. Penalty zone onto the back. Magister flanking as well onto Renegade, but it's a good peel. Kibamba with a flicker. Implosion to save the team, but Oheb gets ran down. It's another realm a bit late by Yue as he stole it just earlier, but his Netherrealm HP is getting taken now. Renegade isolated from the rest of the team and should be taken down by the 4-man squad of Deus Volt. They get the turret though.
I gotta say, man, looking at Blacklist International, that was good, but Deus Volt, what's the communication there? Because Kibamba was very patient. The moment the close proximity comes in, they're like, yeah, guys, let's just go in. That was a good call from Deus Volt.
A risky move from Edward, falls to the torn apart memory in the mid lane. He's trying to defend that all alone, and now with no Edward, Sensui, his odds of getting this retreat down will be very, very slim. Kid Bomba poking him down. Yue coming down as well. The Appraiser's Wrath gets rid of Kid Bomba, but it bought enough time already for Magister to secure the Lord. Carvey, gotta be careful. The hard guard comes in. Yue dashing forward, but Carvey falls. Oheb getting a lot of damage done. The Implosion Flicker combo comes in from Renegade as he finds another, and it's a double kill for Oheb.
All it takes is one play to turn a game around. Deus Vult secures the Lord with Blacklist International. This is something they've been doing for the past 2 days now.
I would say that's not worthwhile trade for Deus Vult. The Lord, one Lord against like what, 3 devs? Totally not worth it, especially because he was on the carry. Carvey made a crucial mistake. At that HP, he should have backed off. No matter the vision, even if you just see one person against a team like Blacklist, someone's waiting around the corner. That was a total mistake coming in from Carvey.
I think they thought they had staggered the death timers enough to make a big play again happen, just like they did into Edward in the mid lane. Magister, all alone, has a hard guard to keep him very safe. Sunset Lover doing the best he can to give or to find value with the Lord, but unfortunately, due to that mistake, they won't be able to find any value here, maybe aside from the tier 1 in the mid lane, which does equalizes things a bit more. The minions should be able to take it down. No!
Whoa.
Edward punches the minions out.
I love the fact, though, that Deus Vult right now is bringing it to Blacklist. A lot of people probably came into this wondering if they were going to be able to match up against such a top-tier team.
Looking at the items here, a big game changer for Sao, having the Flash of the Oasis, as well as having the fleeting time, means that Deus Vult getting 1 kill is going to matter so much to them because they can prolong the team fight even longer. Having the Flash of the Oasis makes it so that for Deus Vult, honestly, if Sao goes into Magister or Kid Bomba, might benefit him more, and Carvey just tries to free hit.
Opening up the map, Magister now going to be taunted down. The hard guard on him. It's not going to be used up just yet. Carvey as well finds those stacks. Now it's the time for the question, LaFell. My question. Deus Vult have more healing for long team fights, but Blacklist International have more damage for long team fights. So, who wins out in these long team fights?
I would say Blacklist International have been playing this game for such a long time. I feel like the advantage is still on them, even though, like, on paper, looking at the draft, it should be Deus Vult. But you cannot, like, you can't explain the numbers of experience. I still think it's for Blacklist International.
Yeah, definitely still the favorite, but honestly, it could turn at any moment. Carvey taking 1 death, still doing well. Also locked in the Malefic Roar, sitting right behind Oheb in terms of gold, but Oheb is definitely going to have a higher peak right here, going to have a higher scale overall. Deus Vult may be running out of time.
That's the thing, right? He's already hit critical mass, so Deus Vult really needs to look for an angle, and just like, this is when I say it, Carvey gets engaged on. The hard guard used up already. A pretty big resource in the 12th minute of the game.
As long as Deus Vult doesn't get any kill or assist for like, what, 30 seconds, it's a big win for Blacklist International. The moment Blacklist makes a mistake, gives over a kill, then the fleeting time will trigger and it will basically null the advantage. So now Blacklist International, 3,000 gold lead. They're in a better spot here for the Lord.
And they're great at Lord dances here. Holding it down, resetting again, the quick discipline as they get rid of the mid wave, but Carvey's doing the same thing on the other side of the map in the top lane. Mid lane pushing down, they need to deal with that or they're gonna lose their tier 2 turret. Sunset Lover barely gets there, and Kid Bomba gets isolated because of that. He takes a whole lot of damage now, and Blacklist International done a lot of damage on the Lord.
Oh,
Magister shield unity canceled. Kid Bomba with the penalty zone with the hard guard as well. Yue gonna be isolated from the team right now as he pops in another realm, but that's gonna be the implosion. Disengage in the back. Still, Blacklist International needs to run away. Deus Vult are charging in. They're screaming Deus Vult as Renegade flickers back at Oheb. Finds the damage necessary to take Kid Bomba down.
And Edward with the moves, Edward with the grooves. A quick little step in just to pick up the kill onto Kid Bomba, showing who's the better EXP.
Blacklist was patient, man. Again, this is where the experience goes in. They understand the strengths of the hero of Deus Vult. They're conditional. The damage is conditional. When you're clumped up, you're gonna receive maximum damage. So just go away, use all the dashes that you have, create your distance, and having the Haas Claw on this Bruno, alongside with the Malefic Roar, with the Berserker Fury, just hitting the jungle creep is gonna heal you up so much.
And the awareness as well, right, LaFell? The fact that they know they have Oheb dealing this much damage, you don't need to go for engages, Renegade. Just use the implosion appeal.
And they keep on, I mean, they're literally walking into the implosion at this point. Renny J doesn't even have to try to hit anybody. He just waits for them because that's the way that Deus Vault plays. It makes the Tigreal look like it was meant just to counter their aggressive play style here. So Daewoo needs to find a way around that.
So something to note, even if there's no Akai, the Tigreal's there doing basically the same job.
This is going to be tough. Their wave clear isn't too good. Deus Vault in the bottom lane. Edward getting the turret down all the way, top side as well. It's the Lord who did the work. Now it's only down to one base turret left for Deus Vault in this defense. And Blacklist International, they choose to take the discipline route. They will disengage.
So LaFell, at this point, Deus Vault sitting in the back, 6,000 gold behind. You know, it's definitely a hard one, but we did like their composition overall. Is this just a time of, do we just need to wait it out and wait for the big play to happen? Or are the odds even less than that?
No, the big play is if somehow Kid Bomba or Sunset Lover can get onto OHEB, because OHEB is the reason why they've been winning this prolonged team fight. The damage and the sustainability. Ooh. If they can figure out a way to drop him down, there is a chance. Because without OHEB, I would say, even though they have the experience, they can't win. It's just that they won't lose the fight.
It's crazy, the fact that, you know, obviously for UA, for OHEB, we've been seeing these numbers pop up, but you'd expect Carvey and Sunset Lover to be doing the most damage for Deus Vault, but it's the Bomba himself that's up there, just second to OHEB. Is he building damage, or is it just a normal build? He's just finding the right targets?
I would say it's because he keeps finding those AoE damage, because Blacklist International, they do like to clump up. And we saw the engagements coming in from Kid Bomba with the penalty zone. If I'm not mistaken, he only has the Fury Hammer. And I don't think at this point it's going to be all that great unless he goes for a Hunter Strike. Hunter Strike, maybe. But only if your mentality is to get OHEB.
All right, so Daewoo, I think they're going to have to try to go for this Lord. But if they're going to do that, Magister can't take too much damage before they engage. He needs to make sure he gets close and maybe look for the cheap play here. Daewoo taking their time with it, though.
The kiting is beautiful from Blacklist International. The Lord dance here has been phenomenal for Blacklist. Sensui's on it. Yue doing some damage. Penalty zone. Then locks onto Yue. It's on the memory coming down into the back line, but another round is going to be popped in. Renegade, implosion, locking him down, but it's another round. Renegade going to be zoned away. Sensui finds a massive Appraiser's Wrath to take it down. Edward loses immortality. Yue very low, still able to survive. Carvey going to get the stun, but OHEB flickers forward. That's a triple. Yue steals it away, and now it's just Sunset Lover all alone in his base. He's done it before. Can he do it again?
The agents are on fire. A valiant effort from Deus Vault, but Blacklist are closing in.
He won't be able to. 1 second on Sunset Lover against 5 members, 5 agents who stay targeted down the base. Game number 1. Blacklist International strikes first.
Blacklist International repping the Philippines right now, showing Deus Vault who runs this show.
Again, Blacklist understands this game, and they make Deus Vault play their game. Deus Vault, they got to figure out, based on game number 1, the changes they have to make. Because Blacklist International, they knew what they were going up against. The Akai is not there. Well, looks like the Tigreal is a very good substitute.
Yeah, very solid pick indeed. I think that pick alone was the bane of Deus Vault's existence that game. So many times they got close to getting the pickoffs, but then would just get stopped in their tracks. But we aren't the brains of this show. Let's throw it over to the wonderful, beautiful, handsome Leo and Wolf.
A very entertaining and explosive way to start this best of 5 between Blacks International and Deus Vault. Welcome to the analyst stand at your service. My name is Leo here with Wolf. And I gotta say, Rizal Memorial Coliseum, are you not entertained? Is that not the kind of match you want to start with?
Then we can see that it was the signature playstyle of Daewoo at the same time the signature playstyle of Blacklist International clashing together. We knew that at the start of this match, this will be a styles clash, and we were given what we wanted. It's just that the Ube specialists reigned through.
And was it not just yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, that Blacklist International had to dealt with a very aggressive team in Geek Fam who owned the better part of the 8 and 9 minute mark, and then that's when Blacklist had to figure it out. Here, they were coming in, cocked and loaded. They were ready to face off against a team that was so ready to fight. Again, Davai Gaming at its best.
I'm just surprised how Daewoo went for this play, going for the Angela plus the Brody. It allowed them to be that aggressive, and that is actually the way to go. Now, going into this game number 1, we know that our MVP was OHEB. Unforgettable moment when after winning the second Lord of the game, what Daewoo did was to actually run down Blacklist International. Davai Gaming again, but OHEB kept his ground. Was able to punish Magister, the backshed that was chasing them. And many times in this game, OHEB's positioning allowed them to punish Daewoo when Daewoo wanted to push for more kills. It's all about that play. And OHEB, he dealt so much damage in that regard.
You'll see here in the highlights as we run through them, the moments in this game where OHEB showed that his Bruno was very much capable of dealing with Deus Volt's very aggressive forward front-to-front lineup. There was a part in the broadcast where our English desk, they asked, hey, between the styles of the lineups and the play style of Daewoo and Blacklist, who would win come the late game? I think the answer was clear. As long as OHEB continued playing this way, his auto attacks would trump all of the ults.
Yeah. Let the record show that Mr. Leo actually copied how the Bruno did it, how OHEB did it. All right.
Kicking balls.
Kicking mounts. And by the way, I want to say that Renegade played so well in this game. I mean, come on. I have already posted so much about Renegade, and people might think that we are biased, but look at him in this game. Was able to save his teammates so many times. I think that this was a unique way of utilizing the implosion. This is a defensive implosion. All of the usages, maybe 9 out of 10 times that Renegade used the implosion was for defense. Watch out for OHEB, the way that he was able to punish the overextension coming out from Daewoo, and then another one as for some reason, the members of Blacklist International just survived through. And this is mainly because of the flicker usages, the battle spell usages, as well as the immortalities. In this particular game, all of the particular clash, I mean, all of the resources were in favor of Blacklist International. In fact, they had the battle spells, they have the ultimates, they have the immortality, and they have the better positioning, as well as the better items. I think that was when you already know that when it comes to the late game, Blacklist are masters of it.
That's right. We'll get deeper into the builds in just a bit. You want to know exactly what's keeping that Tigreal as tough as it was? Look at Renegade.
All right.
That's what you got to build, folks. And as well, I like the touch on the concussive blast. It helps clear waves faster for you to be able to reposition and then allow for a game to end at a reasonable pace.
That's right. And we know for sure that the Wilder's Blessing also plays very big part in this particular playstyle of Renegade. You saw he's able to get into the position faster when it comes to punishing, more so than when it is them trying to start the fights. Because, again, why would you try to start the fight as Blacklist International? You're facing Davai Gaming. Let them come to you, counter it with Implosion.
And the exact term that we use is the turn. They are turn specialists.
That's
and
right.
Because of that, Edward's able to flank. A lot of the entries from Agent Zero came in from post-engage, coming in from when he was clearing top and then going through mid and joining the fight later on. Looking at the items here, again, I think the Radiant Armor came into play, which acted like a baby Guardian helmet, where he would conceal away, flicker away, and then come back with just this much health, enough to survive and then fight again.
Yeah, and obviously Edward picking up the Windtalker eventually to finish the game. That is not part of his build. Don't copy that. Not because you see Edward utilize the Windtalker on the Pakino, it means that you would use it. That was used to end the game. By the way, Kid Bomba, I would say that this is the game that he might be comfortable in playing, but at the same time he was countered as well. You can see the Blacklist International, the way that they drafted this, they let the Faramis through and then take the signature Valentina. Then eventually they went in for the tank build with the Fredrin as well as this Tigreal to kind of man the front lines. It's a very well put out draft composition from Blacklist International.
And also looking at, again, the highlight player from pre-series. Before we even began, we put a spotlight onto the mid lane Magician Yue, dealing a lot of damage. If you dealt more damage as a Valentina compared to Sunset Lover on the Faramis, wherein you're fighting the Ube, again, clumped up heroes, that is a dream come true for a Faramis. Yue was doing amazing. He was doing great work, better than great work. Because what is that? You're playing with range, you're playing with threat assessment, with target acquisition, which I think you'll see if you roll back the tape. Blacks International had just trumped Deus Volt. Despite being Davai Gaming,
Yes.
when it came down to picking the right targets at the right time, Blacklist got them checked.
And what is really weird about this Davai Gaming is that it makes a lot of sense going for the Brody as well as the Angela. But I guess the combination of double supports plus the Brody might not work so much. Maybe if it was the Claude, right, it will deal the damage in the late game. But you can see that there was severe lack of damage from the side of Daewoo, that you felt it in the late game or the mid-game stages of the game. You saw that when they jump in, yeah, they do. It was very explosive. They have the Famous as well. But they didn't have a closing statement to their sentences, for example, or their paragraphs. They cannot close it even with the torn apart memory because of two things. First, they don't have enough damage because of their composition. Second, man, Blacklist is good at kiting. They actually avoid the torn apart memory so many times.
Yeah, again, it's become more and more popular in the past couple of months. The reverse collapse, the fade away team fight. It's happened so many times in the last quarter of MLBB esports from all around the world. Looking at the damage taken, I gotta highlight Magistar. Magistar was maybe second or third most damage dealt for Deus Volt, but also he's second most damage received.
That's right.
So with that said, again, you're seeing how these little bits and pieces of Deus Volt's lineup are making up for their lack of reliable damage.
Yes, which I guess in a way it works against normal teams, but against a team like Blacklist International who knows how to kite, it's better that you will. It's better if you are able to burst them, right? But there's also a downside, obviously. This Daewoo lineup, it was at least in my eyes, it was a gamble because they went for Brody plus the Angela. Makes a lot of sense, but going up against a team that is great at kiting, and I think that the casters pointed that so well in the particular skirmishes that when it comes to like kiting, it seems like Daewoo should have gotten many more kills, but they weren't able to do so because of the magical kiting that you see coming up from Blacklist International.
Yeah, and again, compare that to the amount of CC, well, I guess reliable CC that Blacklist has. It's very hard to, again, even get good target acquisition. As soon as Blacklist makes the call, all right, Ube time, we're backing off. For Deus Volt, it's either, okay, we force the advantage, we get one kill and then walk away, we waste all of our ults, or we walk away, it's a wasted rotation. And that's what our casters were actually watching here in the English desk. They were saying, okay, if in the next 30 seconds there's not a kill from Deus Volt, that was a wasted approach. And as long as Blacks can waste your time, and they can find that window, Deus Volt won't even go past 20 minutes.
I completely agree with what you said. I might just reduce that 30 seconds to maybe just actually 10 seconds. That's how fast you need to kill the members of Blacklist International. The teams that have exposed weaknesses of Blacklist International kill them faster, you know?
Yeah, and again, if you're at this stage, again, a single best of 5, how fast can you learn that? Here's a quick quote from Coach Bon Chan, a SEA Games gold medalist, an MLBB world champion. All right, at first, Renegade didn't want to play utility heroes until we taught him how to properly use those heroes. Should we use tank roamers? He can also do that because that's his specialty. So this is just a little bit of an insight as to how the Hitman became the heel man, how he evolved before Blacklist eyes and now before ours.
And you can see that when he played the Matilda, I will never ever forget what he did yesterday, because he protected Oheb to the point where, as the Matilda, he's not initiating. In fact, was sitting far back so that the guiding wind will be there. When he's playing the Tigreal, he's playing a sustain. So I think that the perfect hero for Renegade, and hear me out, the Minotaur. The Minotaur has heal and catch.
I would argue it's the Matilda because it has a way to go into the back line.
That's true, yeah, all right.
Imagine that. I can't believe that if you looked at Renegade's signature heroes from the M5 World Championships, it would look very different to the way he played his career. So with that said, we're going to throw it over to our casters to get back into game number 2. Talk to us.
All right, thank you guys so much. Here we are, back on the caster desk. Trex, Mirko, LaFell. Are we ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm just glad that they agree with us.
Yeah.
So we know about it. If the panelist agrees, then we know about the game.
Exactly.
Hey, good job, man.
You call him thank you. You too, man. You too.
Far away.
No. Great job. No. Better than great job.
Well, before we get too crazy, don't forget, here comes TikTok Drops. Watch for 3 minutes. You can win 1 TikTok viewer chess. And watch for 5 minutes or more and you can win a TikTok Deluxe checks.
And if you watch more than 5 minutes, you know what you will get? Happiness.
You got to do it. There you go. That's
about how they all
you
feel
do it.
right now.
That's how they all feel.
That's how they
You want to
all
test the
feel.
waters, Trex?
What do you mean?
You want to test how the environment is right now after Game 1's win?
Sure. You got this?
So, agents, I am just one.
First picked up the Boxia in the previous game. Will that shift or not? Because again, even the panelists that were talking about in terms of the damage, looked like it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think despite them having like a composition that wants to go for long fights, their damage dealers were bursty damage dealers, right? It was Brody and Faramis. The fact that Kid Bomba was dealing the most damage shows you that I feel the synergy just was off with the composition that they had. Bomba was dealing more consistent damage, bro.
Yeah, I think Daewoo just needs to maybe draft something that has a couple different win conditions, not just everything into the early game.
I kind of feel like the Boxer first pick is still fine. It's just that Carvey on that Brody. Using a Brody is actually very risky in my personal opinion because you can put yourself in a very tough spot. Whereas something as a Claude, you have a lot of movement. The entire Land of Dawn is your canvas. You can move around.
Unless unless they draft something maybe with a very scaling mid laner, something like the Novaria. But even then, you're totally right. Right now, the marksmans that shine are really those ones that can scale into the late game. The Claude, so many things like that. The Wan, the Bruno, things that no matter what, even if you're roamer, even if you're jungler fail, you have answers.
Same response for Blacklist. I think that was a great point, by the way, right? The Brody, but I feel like maybe Deus Vult are also overthinking themselves. They could have just gone for a signature Diggy pick against the CC coming in for Blacklist. It would have also denied that peel with the Tigreal. That was obviously last pick, but still, Deus Vult went for the risky choice with the Angela as well.
Yeah, I kind of feel like why the Diggy is so strong is just because they have information with the Vision Getter, right?
Yes.
But the more important thing is that no one is stopping their engage.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's the very big difference here because if there was a Diggy, Implosion is a no solution. You can just move through.
It's a no implode zone.
Implonotion.
Implonotion.
It's a notion to implosion.
It is a Fredrin as well. That's
Same exact draft as last time.
Same exact draft. No changes. Even the bans.
You could have guessed this 100%.
We could have.
Yeah, but we are meant to be challenged.
Exactly.
We're meant.
We're meant to be challenged.
Oh,
we're meant to be
said
challenged.
something else.
Yeah. It is something else, but that's the way we like to play, you know? Like, if it's difficult, then I love it. I love being difficult.
So far, the drafts haven't been difficult. Both of the teams know exactly what's going to happen
what does
here.
Daewoo change here? Do you think they went into the room and were just like, it wasn't the draft, we had that, we made some mistakes in-game, so now we just play better?
Or it was the mistake wasn't in the first phase of drafts, it was in the second.
True. Because again, it's coming to the mentality, right? Because we talked with Kid Bomba behind the scenes, and he was very crucial when it comes to the micro mechanics. He understands at a certain power spike, you're able to do this and that. And the thing that he said before when he went up against Onyx was that they were focused on a problem that did not exist. So maybe in the first game, that was the problem. They were worried about things that did not exist. So maybe this time, the damage dealers are going to do a better job. Maybe this time, Carvey is going to make sure that he doesn't do those mistakes where the mistakes is easily avoidable.
I worry about things that don't exist all the time. Ghost, cuckoo birds.
Ooh.
T-Rexes.
That's why I made it my name.
Reptars.
Reptars are real.
Reptars are real.
One in the talent room.
But this right here is even realer. It's the same draft, exactly. Literally even towards the second phase ban, so nothing has changed so far.
So Paquito? Imagine the one time we say the hero.
Exactly, right? That's what I'm scared
and
of.
That's
why
why
we're not
like an Arlet.
All right, Blacklist will go Paquito. Let's see if the curse works. I don't know if you want to test that out, you know, because I predicted Blacklist. Oh wow, all right. Who would have guessed that, man? Even Wolf wouldn't have been able to guess that.
No, because he would have got inside his own head.
For sure.
True, yeah.
Only the meant to be challenged like us would be able to get.
Is it a BA? Is it a Brody Angela?
A BA or an AB?
Or a Diggy.
A BD. A Brody Diggy.
A
I will be there upon the first blossom.
That's the Angela.
Oh, Angela.
We've got it. One more. Will it be the...
I think pick up like a Beatrix here. Just switch it up.
Yeah. I'm okay with the Beatrix.
Something else.
Consistent damage. I like it, right? If it's not the Beatrix, what do they want to go for? Do they want to go for something like a Claude, actually, right?
Claude, yeah. Claude. Yeah. Anything other than the Brody right now, honestly. because that was definitely, actually the Claude would be great.
Yeah.
Is my tempo.
Your team is picking.
The crowd
It would
cheered.
be great. It would be great, right?
Are they downloading?
We don't have a visual mistake, right?
No.
Right?
So it's the Brody, and now Renegade's like,
Tigreal?
wait,
Are
Tigreal?
we in a time loop? Are we going to be here forever?
Are we still in game one?
is this
Was game one
is
so
this
fun that
Groundhog
we just,
game?
have to repeat it? No.
If this is game one.
my friend.
Oh! He just confirmed it.
All right.
Thank you, Renegade.
Thank you, Renegade. Thank you, MTB, for changing something in the draft. I was going to go crazy.
But either way, I would say the strategy does not change because Renegade just now, I would say a lot of the engages did come from the Fredrin, so it doesn't have to come from Renegade anymore. He can just help the Team Kai because that's what Deals want to do. They want to dive.
All right. Everybody, let's jump into the land of Dawn. It's game number 2. Blacklist International looking for match point.
There's a Volt here with the same exact draft. Now against the Estes. Does it work better for their dynamic going up against an Estes instead of a Tigreal, Lafel?
I would say not really because, again, not just the Estes
5
having that
seconds till the
heal,
enemy
but
reaches
having
the
that
battlefield.
slow as well.
Smash
Look at
them.
the dashes coming in from this Volt. Is there many? Because I'm not seeing a lot of dashes coming in from them. So the slow coming in from the
Welcome
Estes
to Mobile
is going to be a
Legends.
big impact.
But now they're going to be even clumping it. They're going to be clumping up even more, right? And when it's Renegade on the Estes, it's always the F Estes, the flicker Estes.
No, one more thing.
What?
It's not just the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. Netherrealm as well.
Yeah,
Brad.
they have the whole package
Exactly.
right
So Sunset Lover's got to do a lot of housekeeping to keep that ult away from Yue.
If this Volt want to win the fight, they have to have this mentality that we're going to kill them tomorrow.
You're
now.
right.
And the next day. And the next day.
Procrastination.
It's kind of like the draft. It's just going to repeat itself over and over and over. Deus Volt, do they want to push the envelope even more aggressive here? Let's take a look at some of the emblems.
Oh, but before that, Renegade taking quite a lot of damage, surviving still, and again, having a lot of movement speed here. Not a lot of changes from Deus Volt in terms of their emblem set. They're going for the same thing.
So it's exactly the same as last time.
Yeah.
What a surprise. On the side of Deus Volt now, I think the goal here, if they're going to really just invest into this, just try to go even harder than last time. Just try to be even more aggressive and really just try to push Blacklist into a corner.
So overload them. And
Overload.
not going to lie, I do kind of agree, but again, they got to figure out a way to isolate Blacklist International. But that's the thing. Blacklist International, they don't get isolated. They make sure whenever they're moving together. Even Edward, where theoretically he's going to be the one soloing a lane, all of a sudden, either Sensui is nearby, Yue, and right now even Renegade is going to get close.
Wow. A lot of emphasis around this bottom side. Blacklist International want to clear it, and they do it just with one splash of damage. Yue takes away that Netherrealm, just what we mentioned. And Blacklist International, once again, just like in game one, are first onto the turtle. Edward already zoning Magister, poking him down, getting him to half with a knockout strike as well. Magister might not be able to even contest for this. Has the regen, pops it in, shield unity onto Edward with the penalty zone onto the back line. Another round from both teams. The Blessing of the Moon Goddess as well. Yue. Another round HP going to be gone. Edward looking for the knockout strike on a Sunset Lover, but they're dealing a lot of damage still. Magister losing out in the Retribution battle. The Sensui, the Appraiser's Wrath comes down. The first blood will be claimed by Kid Bomba. A big trade back as Yue dashes forward, but then gets caught in the Ghost Bursters of Sunset Lover to make it kind of worth it for Deus Volt.
Yeah, honestly, in the end of things, Magister does go down. It's not good to lose your jungler, and they also lose the turtle, but you find Yue and Edward, two of the huge damage dealers, especially when it comes to the mid-game spike.
I would say just now it was all Kid Bombo as well as Sunset Lover, man. Like, doing a lot of damage and actually controlling Blacklist International. I feel like Sunset Lover with the first kill was able to interrupt some of their abilities, making it so that Blacklist International did not do as much damage as they wanted to.
Here's a big problem, though. Edward continues time and time again to just out-rotate Kid Bomba, and has so much to do with the passive. It has so much to do with the Paquito, and this is where Edward shines. We used to love to see him on the Benedetta. Those proactive EXP laners, those ones that can move around the map, and even earlier when they cut that lane just to get a good position on the turtle, was a great maneuver.
Now looking at the items, honestly, quite a lot of same things going on for both teams, but definitely a bigger power spike for the Bruno.
Magister shield unity onto Yue. Sunset Lover trying to deal some damage as well in the back, but Magister's gonna be stunned up right now. Goes on to Sensui, who dashes out. That's another realm baited out from Deus Volt. And Blacklist International decide to disengage with the help of Renege's Blessing of the Moon Goddess.
I feel like that engage was a little bit too early. I kind of feel like going in when it's around 7 or 8 seconds when a turtle is about to spawn could give you a better lead because you're going to make sure that their HP is chunked down. But I don't know, man, going up against this Estes, even when you're doing something right, it feels like you're doing something wrong because even when you get to trade, the trade becomes invisible because he just heals back up.
Looks like they may be going for the lane swap here. Around the 4.5 minute mark, Kid Bomba going to move to the top side along with Edward Turtle spawning up. So Daewoo, they've been a little bit aggressive. They're still falling behind in gold so far. Can they take this Turtle?
Good damage in the mid lane onto Yue, taking him to half HP, but he goes in to terrify them instead. Edward doing a good job at jabbing Magister, poking him down. Meanwhile, Bomba's more concerned with the waves.
He'll be able to make it in time. It shouldn't be too much. Magister also going to secure the purple buff. Can they go for the steal?
He retreat that. Edward force a flicker out. Hard guard coming down. 4-man penalty zone by Kid Bomba, but Sensui still finds the turtle. That was a Blessing of the Moon Goddess, but Renege's caught in the midst of it all. Flickers out to save the Sunset Lover with a flicker of his own. And Edward is forced back. Now under the turret, going to be taken down as well by Sawa.
Let me just say, if you want to give an MVP, man, look at Sunset Lover. The Shadow Stampedes. Again, we're talking about you got to figure out a way how to make sure that Blacklist International don't kind and look at Kid Bomba.
Bomba's caught under the turret, now caught under the Appraiser's wrath. Sensui takes him out.
As I was saying, this Volt, they find the answer. Time when Blacklist International wants to kite away, when they want to move back. At that moment, press again the Shadow Stampede to interrupt their movement. So I kind of feel like for this Volt, Sunset Lover is the key. He's the disruptor. He is the enabler for their team.
He's a player that has gone very, just not as known in the beginning of M5, but so far in the knockout stage, he has been turning up.
A 2v4. That could have been deadly there. Magister goes in, taunted up with Appraiser's wrath once again, but Magister still is able to survive. Torn apart memory just to poke Blacklist down, and Blacklist will just take another structure. Well, the first structure of this game in a bottom lane.
All right, Deus Volt now behind 1K gold. I feel like they have to, I think they kind of just have to step up their macro a bit, but Yue
taken low.
Should be able to get away there. Let's take a look at these items.
Honestly, one notable thing is just that for this time, Kid Bomba doesn't have the Fury Hammer, so he shouldn't be able to do as much damage as before. So that may be the adjustment, going straight for defense instead of delaying it for a little bit of offense. So it's an interesting change. We do have to see if it will work out.
Could be the answer here, right? It could be something that helps him survive a little bit longer when he goes for those big OPZs, right? When he goes for those big engages into the back line, because what happens to him a lot is when he jumps back there, he's immediately shredded down. And with Sunset Lover, Carvey, Sawo able to kind of be aggressive, it might be the magic ingredient.
And now, how does this play out, LaFell? Does the mid-game power spike still hit for Deus Volt where they want to look for big fights? Carvey taken low. Up top, no hard guard. What happened? Was Sawo canceled? No. It was a complete miscalculation, and Blacklist capitalized.
That's one of those moments where you feel hurt, man. You have two ways to help your teammate, and none were there.
Yeah, definitely a big miscalculation for Deus Volt, and this is what separates the boys from the men. This is what separates the S-tier teams and the A-tier teams. Blacklist International not making those minute mistakes right now as Deus Volt unable to keep up.
The saddest thing, Sunset Level was there. He had the Netherrealm, but I feel like the call was save the Netherrealm for the bigger fight.
Yeah, just use the hard guard, and Sawo was like, wait, are you going to use it? Appraiser's wrath on the Sawo, just to zone him away mid lane. Magister trying to hold down the tier 1, but it's still going to be taken down by Blacklist International. And now both teams disengage, but Blacklist are walking away with a 4,000 gold lead.
Let me just say, Mirko, your question was interrupted, but I feel like that's the answer. At this point, it's not because of the draft, man. It's because of the calls.
Yep.
The calls are definitely a problem for Deus Volt. At this point, Blacklist International is starting to outclass them, showing them that maybe they are in a league of their own. Deus Vult, though, we've seen them turn the tables before. We've seen them able to do things that many teams aren't able to. But is this going to be the end of their road? It's game number 2 right now. Daewoo sitting at a significant deficit, but definitely still have some fighting capabilities here.
Right now, my personal worry is for Deus Vult. If you want to win a fight, you need damage. And Carvey, I don't know if he, after what happened just now, he still has the mentality to move forward to dish out the damage. And at this point, even I don't know.
Yeah.
Should he have the mentality to move forward? Maybe it's better to take a back seat, see what happens first, and then dish out the damage. Maybe let Yue do the initial part of the damage, and then have Carvey get some stacks and then finish it off.
I think so. I think the whole point of the Brody here is to be the executor, right? It can't be the main source of damage here, as, again, the way that they're fighting, they need to bait out a lot of these abilities. The Nether Realm coming in, the Blessing and the Moon Goddess, you put a Torn Apart Memory against two of those, and it's basically a wasted ultimate for the Brody. So it's really how they layer these abilities, the damage source as well, to get that execute onto the right members of Blacklist.
The big problem is Carvey's supposed to snowball. The Brody is supposed to have a kill or two by now, and at this point he has nothing. He actually has a death. Whoa!
Penalty zone flicker to the back right now. NetherRealm coming down, very clutch. Blessing the Moon Goddess coming down as well. Kid Bomba, very, very low. Oheb walks forward, finds the shot. Edward running away. Sensui onto Magister now as he grants all the space that Blacklist need to get Oheb all those free hits.
Not only did Blacklist win out in that fight, but they walked out of that fight with full health bars. Deus Vult unable to even chip into the heal coming from Renegade right now from the space created from the team of Blacklist. Deus Vult aren't going to be able to last much longer if this is how fights keep going.
I don't want to be a party pooper, man, but at this point I feel like Blacklist International, they need to receive damage from the crystal for them to die.
Yeah.
I feel like the turrets have to chip in.
They really do, Lavelle. I think if the turrets don't chip in, Deus Vult just simply don't have enough damage to melt down these HP bars. If it was bad earlier in game number 1 against the Tigreal, now put an Estes in and we got the answer we were looking for.
Dude, this is one of those comps where you just want to go to the next game, man.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot to compete with. Blacklist International closing in on the towers, Lord on the top side.
Counterpart memory used up. Oheb just soaks it in. Knows that there's Renegade on the side to give him more HP as Yue cuts in as well, looking for another angle to dish out damage, and there's no punishment. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Sunset Lover dealing some good damage onto Edward, but again, he can just sustain back up.
Let me just say, it's been 4 to 5 kills. It's a low kill count game. It's just because Blacklist International, there's never a point they have to force it. They do enough damage where this will have to disengage.
This is macro dominance. Kid Bomba poke down, one more shot. Oheb again. Even with the DPZ, it isn't enough to get away from the Filipino sniper.
That could be it. Blacklist International going to start chipping away at these towers right here. Deus Vult need an answer. They need something to get out of this heal hell that they're in right now. Blacklist International trying to close things up.
What is the answer?
No, let me just say, Oheb took a lot of turret shots.
And he still didn't die.
And he still didn't die.
You know why?
Renegade.
Renegade. The heal man.
The heal man with the Hosqua? It doesn't matter if you have a box, yeah?
And they also have the Nether Realm. It's just...
No, 50% of what Blacklist has is still a lot. It's like 50% out of a million. 500,000 is still a lot.
That's a lot.
And you can see from Edward as well, usually you expect a Bloodlust axe, right? He went straight for the Oracle, so he knows, you know what, I'm just going to rely on Renegade to heal me back up.
Because as long as they buy time, right? As long as they're able to make these fights last more than 5-10 seconds, they always come out on top. At this point, it doesn't seem like there's an answer for Deus Vult. Kid Bomba went for the more defensive build in the beginning. Carvey is still 0-1. I mean, nobody on the team can really do any damage to them.
Because the answer is, you want to outlast the NetherRealm and outlast the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. But let's be realistic. Can you? Right? Unless Kid Bomba dives in completely alone. And he gets all of those things. Maybe. But let's be realistic here. I think that's difficult to do.
There's too much layering. Definitely way too much. Not just from the abilities to keep them alive, but also that damage. That Lord was blitzed.
I mean, not only that, but then you add a 10K gold lead on top of all those things, right? It's just,
Salt to the
definitely just a little salt in the wound. Now we have OHEB already completely maxed out in items, as Carvey is still lacking 2. He's at a, what, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, a 2,700 gold deficit right now.
Renegade as well, having the Enchanted Talisman as well as the Flask of the Oasis. Now, in case you guys don't know what a Flask does, when your HP is low, when you heal someone, they gain a shield. And at the late game, the shield is basically like 60% of your HP. Good luck trying to get anyone down at that point.
Especially when you have an 11,000 goal lead. Edward, knockout strike on 2 right now as another round gets popped in right now with a Turnip memory as well. Blacklist International, Bamba with a desperate play in the end, but the Appraiser's wrath comes down. And OHEB is free hitting. Game number 2 will end with OHEB picking up a triple kill.
Blacklist International keep on stomping. Deus Vult losing another game. That was a rough one.
This time, Blacklist coming in with a draft that is basically unkillable. They're not kiting for this one. They're pushing forward. They're challenging the Dark Knight. We know you won't have enough damage. Try as you might, but we're not going down. We got the Heal Man.
And the Hitman.
He's the nicest Hitman I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's the only Hitman I've ever seen.
Good save, man. Good save. That could have been really, really scary, right?
That's normally how that works. So game number 2, full of action. What do you think, analysts?
You know what else he is? The only music recording artist that is also an MLBB athlete on the world stage.
So far.
Welcome back to the Analyst Stand at your service. My name is Leo, here with Wolf, breaking down game number 2 between Blacks International and Deus Vult. Folks, I hate to say, but this is a sequel to what we saw in game number 1 with but one twist. So you could say it might be a game 1.5.
Yeah, and it's borderline madness for me, you know?
Insanity.
Insanity, exactly. Because what they did was to try to utilize the same formula going up against Blacklist International. Evidently, it didn't work. And I think that with the Estes, it's even a more difficult task, right? You saw that the Tigreal was able to kind of, prevent them from dying. Estes literally is not going to have any problem in that game. Back-to-back, I mean, of course, this is game 1.5. 1.5, so same MVP.
Game 1B.
Game 1B, exactly.
And it's the same concept. The auto attacks from OHEB, able to overload the Netherrealm, able to disincentivize Hearth Guards.
Yeah.
And he had to just do better than great. He had to do better than what he did in game 1 and just follow the momentum, follow the flow. OHEB is on a whole nother level.
There was an improvement that Blacklist International did from yesterday when they went for the turtle fights. This time, actually, if you're going to be looking at Blacklist International, they're faster at the turtles. They're cleaner when it comes to taking care of their jungle. It's because of their heroes. And my God, Edward was phenomenal when it comes to zoning out their opponents in many moments in this game. We can see, again, lack of damage, dude. It's just how it feels. I mean, maybe the first 2 minutes you can take them out. Look at the beautiful penalty zone, but no kills afterwards. It's just so difficult to fight if you're Daewoo, even if you have all of these members. Eventually, they took out Renegade, but man, they got punished afterwards.
Yep, it's one thing to pick another lineup and work on your target acquisition, because that's one thing they had lacking from game 1. But now, Blacklist just came in and fixed their issues, tightened up their screws, and came in and ended much, much sooner.
Yeah. I mean, you know for sure that this is going to happen. If you're going for the Brody Angela 1v1, well, it's not technically a 1v1, but you know what I'm getting at, right? Doing duels, it will win. But when it comes to full-blown skirmishes, especially when there's a looming Estes threat all the time and there's the Valentina Faramis, I think that that's just not going to work. For Daewoo, they should rethink this Faramis strategy and maybe not give the Valentina, or just don't get the Brody. Get a Claude instead.
So something tells me there's got to be a see you soon versus Deus Vult-like switch within the EECA's Dark Knights. Coach Flysolos to come in and switch up the game, change the lineup completely. Looking at the emblem set, again, I am falling in love with Renege's Estes emblem set. The fact that it's Quantum Charge means he's always combat ready.
Exactly. And the way that he can juggle between two lanes. I think that it happened so many times in this game where he was up top, helping out Oheb, and then eventually was in mid. They were controlling the Little Wanderer as well. He's just taken over maybe 75% of the map just because of the Quantum Charge in combination with the Wilderness Blessing.
I mean, say what you will about Sawo's Angela, it does also bring in quite a bit of map presence. Also rocking the Wilderness Blessing, able to cross rivers and jungles much faster, and then Hearthguard for the omnipresent threat. But from then on, again, it's literally a walking green dot. After your ult, you're a subpar wave clearer. It's difficult. You also are a somewhat vision getter, but that's not your problem. You have solid vision. You're able to engage and disengage at will, but where's the damage? Where's the follow through?
Yeah, and when it comes to the other items, the other parts of the game that we have to talk about, I guess it's not just about the items now if you're looking at what Blacklist got, because it's standard. It's actually what they got in the previous game. But this time it's much faster. You can see around 7 minutes you already have the Radiant Armor, which now deals with or against the Brody as well as the Angela Faramis combo. I mean, I'm not saying that Radiant Armor deals with the Brody. It's just that they have Antikyras as well as Radiant Armor on Sensui at 7 minutes. Already, 7 minutes before the Lord fight, you already have 2 items to go up against the main damage dealers of Daewoo.
And for Daewoo, you see here they're building up towards what they did as well in Game 1. You see here the Sea Halberd on Carvey. You see the Durance on the way for Sawo, and the Durance already built on Sunset Lover. And of course, the anti-heal from Magister's Baksha. And this was against the Tigreal, and it was already difficult. What more against a lineup that actually likes to heal?
Exactly.
So Blacklist completely overloaded, used what they were good at, was getting real comfortable, and forced the issue. 14 minutes. It's a fast game compared to the average across all of M5, even in the knockout stage.
Yeah. Again, the stats that we were seeing, Kid Bomba as well as Coffee, they dealt the most damage, but it not net them anything because when it comes to the overall macro of the gameplay of the game, they weren't able to get anything out of it. This is mainly because the early game wasn't won by Daewoo. Brody Angela, they need to snowball. With Brody Angela with the Baksha, the win condition of that kind of composition is to win the game as soon as possible. Make sure that the SDs will not hit critical mass. Make sure that Bruno will not be able to take out your turrets. Unfortunately, it didn't happen at all.
It's basically breaking down a wall with a sledgehammer that keeps rebuilding itself. Or missing the wall entirely, because that's what Deus Volt's lineup was. It was a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And you needed to break through past the 8-9 minute mark and own that part of the game to be able to move on forward. We'll see here. In the damage dealt, exactly what they were packing. It's just that, at some point, they couldn't get through effective damage anymore.
Not at all. You can see that you have to look at the mid lane matchup. It's Sunset Lover versus UWeb V2. It's a Faramis versus the Valentina. Then the overall idea here for Daewoo is to have this Faramis as well as the Angela. Well, guess what? Because they gave the Valentina for the side of Blacklist International, not only does UWeb deal the damage, he also takes care of business when it comes to the sustain. Renegade, in combination with having the NetherRealm, imagine Estes as well as NetherRealm. How much sustain can you get? That's natural for Blacklist International.
Basically, everyone in Blacklist International is Masha.
Right.
Or Xborg, whichever you want to look at
that's
it.
That's right. I agree.
That's why you gotta see Daewoo. If that was not Blacklist's lineup, there would have been more kills. So this is a relatively low kill count game for a lineup like Deus Vult. So with that said, again, the onus is on Coach Fly Solo. The ball is in their court. How do they switch up their game?
I think that they're so convinced about this lineup after playing that in their first game and then playing it again in the second game. Maybe this is one thing what they have spent the night over. Like, let's pick the Brody. It makes sense, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, there's just one ingredient that they need to really fix, which is, I'm going to say it again, it's the Valentina. You win the Valentina is just so deadly. Surely, you'll be scared about his Faramis or whatnot, but I think that giving him the Valentina is, at this point, like Assassin Dave would say, criminal.
Interesting how Valentina has dropped Rose and is now the villain once more in the metagame. With that said, it's now come to the point wherein Deus Vult has to play one game, one game at a time, win again and again and again. Ooh. They were in the same situation less than 24 hours ago against See You Soon. Now, against Blacklist International, it's dire straits. What do they have to do in the draft, Wolf?
Well, okay. Blacklist will ban the assassins. They will now be another trade-off when it comes to utility junglers. So it will be like Baksha or Fredrin that will get with Tristan Valentina. But this time, Claudjella should be their choice afterwards.
Switch up the combo.
Switch up the combo.
All right, with that said, let's throw it over to our host. It's the handsome Mikey. He's with the crowd. Let's hear from the folks here at Rizal Memorial Coliseum.
Thank you, talents. This is your very own Odin on the side with Mikey. That was a very, very thrilling match. I'm so nervous right now.
Yeah, that was a great match and a 2-0 lead for Blacklist International. Tanong mo yung mga agents natin, kumusta sila? Let's ask our agents.
Yes, let's do some vibe check. Let me hear it from Blacklist International. When I say Blacklist, you know what to do, guys. Blacklist!
Well, they are on the verge of winning this series, but Daewoo showed us that they can come back from a 0-2 deficit. So, the Daewoo fans over there, kaya pa? Do they have what it takes to come back, Daewoo fans? So we'll see what happens in this next game, but for now, I believe we have time to play a game with one of our, or with two of our fans.
Let's get some fans.
Yeah, let's look for fans
I
want to
go have some vibe check
Yes.
here. Blacklist fan. Let me have some Blacklist fans.
Blacklist fans. Blacklist fans. Madam.
Madam, come with me. Get some Daewoo fan.
Madam.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Lian.
Lian. And obviously, she's supporting Blacklist International. Who's your bias?
Edward.
Edward!
Edward!
Why Edward and why Blacklist International?
Edward kasi feeling ko sa lahat ng players ng Blacklist, siya talaga yung pinaka nag-step up sa kanilang lahat. And hindi nagbabago yung playstyle niya since Season 7.
So she believes that Edward is the one who steps up and he hasn't changed the way he plays the game, which is a great observation. How about you, madam? What's your name?
Renzi.
Renzi! Blacklist International agent?
I support Blacklist, but I'm also here to support Daewoo.
Wow! I love it. All right. Give me your favorite player from Daewoo.
Kid Bomba,
of course.
Come on, Kid Bomba.
Do you believe they still have what it takes to come back in this series?
They've shown it yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
Why can't they do it again today, right?
Yes. All right. Let's play a game.
Let's play a game. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready, yeah. So, you're gonna win an M5 merch signed by all the players.
Oh,
this is a limited edition.
Whoa!
Look at that. Mikey, you can't buy this anywhere.
No, Rene J, Oheb, Yue, Edward. Wow. Sensui also there. Wow. Ito.
No, don't take it. Don't take it.
Thank you.
No.
All right. Now what are we going to do?
For those who want to get this M5 merch, this is available outside.
Yes, baseball field outside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. So you can pass by over there. Let's play a game for you girls to have a chance to win the signed
All you have to
shirts.
do is shout your favorite player's name, which is Yue.
Yue.
You know what to do.
As long as possible. Yue, as long as possible, all right? The one to say their favorite player the longest wins.
How about her?
How
For
about you?
Kid Bomba.
Hindi, mahaba masyado.
But their
It's too long,
chance
it's too long.
is-
How about Sue?
There you go.
There you go. A
See?
real fan indeed.
There you go. All right.
Who wants to go first? Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ayun. All
Who
right.
wants to go first?
All right.
You
You
go
go first. Lamang naman kayo 2-0 eh. Lamang kayo 2-0.
Oo nga naman.
Charot.
At the count of 3, Lian, you shout Yue. 3, 2, 1, go!
Whoa!
15.
12 seconds. 12 seconds.
12 seconds?
12 seconds.
12 seconds on the
All right,
clock.
12
Can you
seconds,
beat
Renzi.
that?
Oh,
Kaya.
all right.
Kaya. She
For
can.
Daewoo's comeback.
Daewoo.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Ready? Sue.
Yeah! Congratulations, Renzi! Wild! Hopefully na-inspire yung Daewoo doon. You will win a signed shirt signed, of course, by all our members. There you go.
There you go. You manifested it well.
Yes. But, you're not
I
gonna
just
go
want to add,
Yes.
idol ng pamangkit ko si Kid Bomba. Kid Bomba, pag uwi ka na sa amin.
She said her niece is a fan of
Kid
Kid
Bomba.
Bomba.
You want to take Kid
if you
Bomba home?
win, go home with them.
Yes! He needs a playmate.
Okay.
He's a playmate. All right.
Oh, okay.
But
It's a nephew. It's a nephew.
It's a nephew.
You're not gonna go home empty-handed. We also have a prize for you later on today. But there you have it. All right.
Thank you so much for joining us here. Have some fun. Agents and fans of DU's Volt, thank you so much to the crowd. And now, let's head back to the game with our very own talents.
Congrats. Thank you, thank you.
Prepare yourselves for the next game because this is a match point for Blacklist International. Everything on the line for Deus Vult, but I think a great storyline here is yesterday, Deus Vult had to take 2 losses before they could try to go for the reverse sweep.
For some reason, they always need a warm-up, right? Like, even in the group stages as well, they have to lose 1 before getting 1. So, now against Blacklist International, that certainly is what can happen, but will it happen?
The Bomba mentality, it has a power source.
Okay.
Not every power source takes the same place. Not everything uses a battery. Not everything uses nourishments. Perhaps what they need is doubt.
Is what?
Doubt. When people doubt them, then they rise.
You know, so Goku has the energy ball, he has the doubt ball.
No,
Well-
D-O-U-B-T. Doubt.
Speaking
Yeah, doubt
of
ball.
success and not doubt, Daewoo's keys to success. In our previous M-Series runs, we were more like a mix of 5 players individually. This time, we feel more like not only a team, but a family.
A big Bomba family. They already have the kid, now it's the rest. Needs to change the Bomba.
Not gonna lie. Whenever I'm going for a job interview and they're saying they're like a family, big red flag for me.
Why?
I don't know, man. Something about him saying we're like a family. It's Listen, kid. I've worked in the real world. Trax, you've worked in the real world.
Yes, Mirko hasn't.
I'm 21, man.
Dude. Family, man, family.
Family. Must be cool.
Oh.
Hey, dab it up, dab it up, dab it up.
We're getting real
must
dark
be
here,
cool,
bro.
Phil.
What?
Must be cool.
Oh! If you know, you know. You know, if you know, you know.
I'm gonna dab myself up. Shout outs to family. And shout outs to mental health. Now, going into the game here, you know what's... Even though I'm down, I want to see some drops. I want to see some TikTok drops.
Some TikTok drops. Well, here comes TikTok drops. Watch for 3 minutes. You can win 1 TikTok viewer chest. And watch for 5 minutes or more, and you can win TikTok's deluxe chest.
And watch for
Deluxe.
a few hours, and you may no longer be single.
Because you'll have TikTok's chest.
Yeah, 2.
And nobody's single with TikTok chest. You'll have 2.
Exactly.
It'll
not
be triple,
singular.
not single.
No, because in MPL Malaysia, let me say, our single rate is going down lower and lower with every game.
So y'all are getting Riz.
We got the Riz.
So
Riz
far,
are Riz.
Deus Vult have the Riz 2 games in a row, but they've lost on it.
Maybe now they
Is that
need
what
the
you call
songs.
the Riz?
The Rizla.
Oh, they've had the Rizla.
Yeah. The Rizla, man.
So it's the time to switch it up.
Maybe they need the
hoodoo.
song.
At this point, you got to
The what?
The song.
The song?
The U song.
The song. The
Oh,
M5
the song.
use
What
song.
do you hear?
They need
The song, but I just don't know what song. Okay.
They need the 15-year-old.
The
15.
Diggy.
The Diggy.
The Diggy
Right.
is 15-year-old.
Yeah. The Diggy is
Well,
15-year, but
Let's jump into the draft to see if that can happen. Daewoo up against the wall right now. Match point for Blacklist. They definitely need to switch something up. The same draft better not come out of Daewoo's hands, or else I'm going to be silent the whole game.
it might happen. I'm just saying it might happen. But Wolf said minor changes can work, right? The fact that they kept everything literally the same at least for Blacklist, they changed something. They adapted to the S's. There you go. So it's confirmed we're going to get a change. I mean, the swap sides already, right? But there's no way it's the same drop with the two different sides, right?
With Blacklist, I cannot
be. I'm going to be silent.
With Blacklist, I kind of feel like they can get away with just a Valentina first pick, right?
For
I
sure.
mean, the Bruno is great, but I feel like OHEB can do more than just a Bruno, right?
I think, yeah, for sure. With the Bruno pick, it does ensure Deus Volt will have a little bit better of a late game, and that's technically where they've actually found the comeback angles, right? Towards the later stage of the game, when they're able to prolong and waste that early to mid game, the time is very, very important. The TikTok timers for Deus Volt, but it's also as important for Blacklist International. That's how the ADP works. The anti-disaster protocol. Lose out in the early game, completely fine. Get it to that later stage of the game, and then you give it over to OHEB and Yue, the two main damage dealers, and they've already been farmed up.
Right now in the drafting phase here, Blacklist International is putting pressure onto Deus Volt because they're already batting out the Faramis. So now there's, I don't know, in my head, whenever you're doing the draft, it is a mind game. And I kind of feel like banning out this Faramis is putting Deus Volt in a situation that they will be very uncomfortable. So now Blacklist International, they got a lot of things open here. And I kind of feel like if Deus Volt picks up the Bruno with... Wait, the Matilda is open as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
no,
sorry, Matilda's banned. So picking up the Valentina and then Deus Volt picking up something like the Bruno, maybe even the Terizla, I don't know. I kind of feel like Blacklist International, they're controlling the draft just with the bans.
Yeah, and well, even the way that the bans have been going recently, I think it's a great choice for Daewoo to move over to the red side.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they can get the Bruno here, and they can force some change up, and OHEB has just been a monster on the Bruno, but we know OHEB's hero pool can also go into the Claude, go into something else that can really shift the tides of battle. Daewoo here. So are we thinking Bruno up front, maybe Bruno with the Basha once again?
I think it has to be Bruno, right? Either way, whatever they partner the Bruno with, whether it's a Terizla, a Baxia, or even, heck, maybe even Lilia. For Sunset Lover, the Bruno is necessary for them to get a good lane for Carvey and also late game insurance.
The only thing is I feel like they should delay their mid lane pick for now just because you already saw Blacklist having the mid lane, so there's no way they're going to pick something up. So try to steal something away.
Need no protection.
So the Baxia?
Basha, Bruno.
They don't go for
Lilia.
Oh, Lilia.
So mid lane control. Mid lane control, I like it.
It's like Blacklist already have a mid laner, you know? You could have put it at the third pick. Unless the third pick is the Diggy.
Ooh. But they want to see what Black's going to bring with their two picks and lock in the Hoot after.
I mean, at this point, you might not have a chance to grab the Hoot.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, when you pick a Lilia and then you pick a Diggy later on, against a Valentina, it's incredibly hard. Especially for Blacklist International here. Deus Volt want to try to keep them in a choke point, but if they give out something like a Diggy over that time journey ult to the Valentina, Blacklist will just be able to disengage out of these choke points easily. And now Deus Volt, well, technically the Bruno is still up for grabs, right? Blacklist pick up the Raph.
I don't know, at this point, the Raph plus most gold laners is going to be very scary. If they don't pick up an aggressive gold laner here, it's going to be very difficult. They're picking up the Ixia.
They ban everything out but the Bruno and try to give...
Maybe just because looking at the composition, they're thinking there's no way that Blacklist wants to dive. So this Ixia is going to be saved. So, but you kind of are forced to ban certain EXP laners, right?
For sure.
The Lapu, maybe even the Yuzong.
Yeah, Lapu, Yuzong, the Terizla maybe as well, unless they feel like they can handle it.
I mean, definitely a possibility. I think I like the idea of they know that Ixia is going to be safe in the back line. So now Blacklist definitely maybe wanting something that can get to the back line here. Lapu, Terizla, plenty of options still out there. But I love that Raph pick because it denied any idea of like, all right, we're not going for heavy CC here. You're not going to pick the Diggy. It'd be pointless at this point. We know the composition we have. And again, it just goes to show how much diversity just that one pick from Rene J can make with the team.
At this point, like our panelists were talking about how Blacklist is like a wall. Now this wall has wheels or wings.
There you go.
It's a moving wall.
It is a moving wall.
That's very scary.
It's a floating moving. It's a flying wall.
Once in my life, I saw a wall moving towards me, and I was like, how does that happen?
Were you driving?
No.
That would be the logical explanation, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, now I see it. No, I wasn't driving.
No, but so far for Carvey and for Oheb, it's been the Bruno that's, been the most successful, or maybe not for Carvey, but most used hero for both these players. Maybe because Carvey's seen this win rate as well, he's like, you know what, maybe we'll just try to utilize this Ixia. We were able to beat the Bruno with this just yesterday against See You Soon, so why not try again? If Blacklist loved the Bruno so much, Oheb heck got 2 MVPs back-to-back on the Bruno. Let's try to counter him.
So what do we think about Daewoo maybe picking up the Tigreal or picking up something a bit more aggressive for their roam here, LaFell?
Actually, just looking at the Bruno here, I know you asked a question, but I call it Sunset Lover a goalkeeper. Looks like Oheb's the better striker, man.
Yeah, the way better striker. He's been getting those goals in so easily. Tigreal banned out, so 2 setters taken out from Deus Volt. They don't want to give the combo away, but the Tigreal, or the Terizla rather, will still be picked up. Kid Baba loves this hero.
When I give the word.
Are they going to just last pick the Hoot Hoot here, LaFell?
Ooh.
The Khalid, very fast pick here. I love the confidence, and it goes with the team's playstyle where the Khalid can move around the map very, very fast, and he can do very well alone in the lane.
And we've seen that for Edward, the way he plays the Khalid when he has a Rafaela on the team is full damage. He's an assassin, not a fighter. He relies on the Rafaela to keep him tanky, sustainable, and the quicksand guard.
And again, it's another fast-moving EXP laner, something that Edward just thrives on. Every single time he's on this, he's able to move around. I don't have to explain myself again. Now, Oheb, does he just pick up the Bruno?
Ooh, signature pick.
Signature pick, and here's the thing, just want to add on for Edward. I feel like whenever they're training, the coach told him, Edward, you have to take care of the lanes.
All of
it.
The
coach didn't specify which lane. He just assumed all of it.
Yes.
Right?
Which lanes? Yes.
Yes. And that's exactly what he does, honestly. We saw yesterday Blacklist come in, and Edward would even try to, they would send 3 or 4, literally first lane into the mid side just to get some advantage. And so you just never know where Edward is coming from. And with the heal, with Renegade as well, giving them all even more of a speed boost around the map, it's definitely a deadly composition.
Okay, last pick here. Is it the Hood Hood? Is it an Estes?
Ooh, that would be very interesting to go for. They go for the Kaja. Ooh, okay, so literally just a cover comp, right? They want to play for the Lilia and Ixia. That's it. It's very honest.
Definitely very honest. Able to get some pick pressure too. Might be a little bit easier to catch Renegade off here. That's going to definitely be a target for them, but Sawo's going to have to choose, as the game moves on. Does he go for the gold laner? Does he go for Renegade? What is his choice here?
Early game don't matter, man. I kind of feel like their idea is to separate Blacklist because they've been clubbing up way too much. So in the early game, don't care. Just pick anyone and finish them off.
And they've been winning in the clubbed up team fight, so maybe that might be it. Isolating them in the early game and then clumping them in the late game with the Ixia, punished with a full barrage.
All right. Blacklist International, agents all around. It's match point as Deuce Volt looks for another reverse sweep. Is it something that can be done?
Well, they got to do it here. They changed their strategy in terms of the draft, as well as having the roamer, the Kaja as the roamer. They got to be aggressive. But at this point, they got to make sure the calls are solid, the calls are good. Whoever they catch, the damage has to be there. If the damage dealers aren't ready, it's going to be a Blacklist game.
All right, so with what you said, they have to be aggressive. Do they just immediately start pushing in? And it looks like that's what they're already doing. Sawo already on Blacklist side of the river, and that is a good sight. They have the Lilia, they have that ability to kind of get into the face of Blacklist here. And as long as they can keep doing that, they can possibly control the pace. But here comes the emblems, LaFell.
The firmness coming in from Sensui is going to make it a little bit tougher for him to get bursted down, but 2 ruptures for the side of Blacklist, so they're ready to fight in the early game.
And the Master Assassin still as the choice for Carvey. That's an interesting one, man. On the Ixia, you would expect him to maybe go for just more damage or tenacity.
Yeah. I kind of feel like he hasn't really won the lane so far. So yeah, it is a very risky choice here. Looking at the items for now, looking like the Lilia does want to deal a bit more damage, and Renegade gets attacked.
Very low. Yue body blocking. And Renegade gets out, recalls back to safety.
So this is pretty normal for Deus Volt, though. Even the past 2 games before this, they've been aggressive. They maybe even find a pickoff here and there. But Blacklist International always has that rubber band back. They always have that bounce back moment. The question is just when it will come.
All right. Magister actually takes that away from Sensui. No retribution committed just yet because it's 7 seconds till the turtle spawns. And Magister is going to be first onto it now. So already a difference from game 1 and 2. Deus Volt are first on the neutral objective with more prio.
Oh, Kid Bomba getting attacked. Terrified.
A lot of damage, but it's going to be turned back. Oh, first blood by Kid Bomba. Even with US stolen penalty zone, wasn't able to save Edward.
Very well done by Deus Volt. Slowing down Edward is going to be huge in this laning phase.
Retry battle 50-50. It's going to be Sensui who wins it. 1-for-1. Sawo with a flicker. Divine Judgment locking Yue down. Now onto Sunset Lover by Yue. Will he be able to escape right now? A lot of damage placed onto it, and the answer will be no. He'll be taken out.
But that's what they have to do. It doesn't matter what happens in the game. You try to get a trade on the turtle. You did not succeed. Get any kills, even the front lines, because at this point of the game, no one has completed items just yet.
Penalty zone onto Edward. This might be a solo kill. Edward 1 HP, very low. Kid Bomba looking for a dive. One more hit should do it. A hit and a flicker, a regen to respond it over, and Edward gets out, saving his flicker.
We've seen that play from Bomba before, and I think in game 1 he paid for it. At least this time, he's like, no, I'm not going to risk it. We got to play smart. It's match point. I really want it, but I'm going to back off. And I think that is a good play by Bomba because Edward, if he had the same guard in time, if anything was to happen, Bomba would have been down.
Honestly, the concussive blast on Edward makes it so that even if he's very, very low, he's able to clear the lane very, very fast. So even if something goes wrong, it still goes right.
It's an assassin emblem. It's everything with the killing spree, with the damage as well, rupture, but it's concussive blast that helps him clear the wave. And Magister looking for a pick, goes on to US. Shield unity used up. Anything interesting in the in-game equipment here?
Honestly, the interesting part is the difference in terms of the gold. 2.5k gold for Kid Bomba, 1.9 for Edward. Edward, again, looking like he does want to go for the more aggressive build here.
Yeah, but Oheb is getting a slight lead over on a Carvey. Something I want to point out is, yes, Daewoo is winning out in some of these fights right now, but the Magister Sensui rivalry here, Sensui's been coming out on these retributions a lot, even when it's 50-50. And we all know in the end, a lot of these games comes down to who can pull off the Lord. So Magister definitely going to need to step up his game here.
Yeah, looks like Sawo had an opportunity just now, but apparently just with Sunset Lover, they don't want to take the risk, especially because Yue having that Divine Judgment as well. Perhaps he was worried that he might get caught himself.
I think for both of them, they were trying to bait out each other's Divine Judgment, right? You do it first. No, you do it. But both of them stayed patient, and now it's going to be Deus Volt who have this Sawo flicker Divine Judgment. There you go. He does it first, finds Yue. Penalty zone onto Renegade, who's forced to flicker meanwhile in the bottom lane, or up top actually. A little bit of a gank from the gold laner, rotating, and a bit of a curveball as well. Sensui spotted out in the bottom side Tribush. Walks out, tries to escape, but the Glooms locks him down real good. Sensui finds an angle again with the help of the Holy Healing. Sensui doesn't get it. It's Magister 1 level down, but it's no problem for him.
All right, a good play by Deus Volt, but they do lose Carvey, and Oheb is just having a free lane right now, and that is definitely not what you want when this mid-game comes around.
Speaking of mid-game, now we're transitioning into the mid-game. Deus Volt, they have to understand how they want to control the map at this point, because when you have a Kaja, controlling those bushes is going to be very productive for your own team. The moment you lose those bushes, the Kaja isn't going to be as effective.
Wow. Bomba just out-trading Edward straight up.
Yeah, he's definitely hit the spike. Edward a little bit behind, but look!
Full barrage committed as well. Sensui goes for the taunt, dashes out to safety. One more hit should do it. And it's a big shield unity slammed to the ground to take Sensui out. Meanwhile, bottom lane still a 1v1 ensuing. Kid Bomba versus Edward.
Right now, the kill going to Deus Volt, amazing. But they got to transfer the lead over to the objectives. They got to take down the structures here.
Raging Sandstorm to lock him down. The Filipino sniper on point. Jumps into the Nibiru. Nibiru's passion used up, but Kid Bomba's a bit too tanky now. A 4-man dive in the bottom side of the map. Kid Bomba looking to clear out the waves. The penalty zone onto Yue. The damage not going to be enough right now. He out. Yue does the same, and it's all a distraction to get Oheb the turret.
Deus Volt almost got there in the nick of time. Luckily, Kid Bomba is able to just kind of play that very smoothly. They lose the tower, but if only the rest of Davu's teammates came in a little bit faster.
Yeah, but right now, looking at the items as well, looking at Sawo, he's building a little bit tanky first. He's not really bothered to build the fleeting time. So I kind of feel like this is a better approach, a safer approach to this fight. Looking at the items as well. Oh, goes in.
Full barrage, a beautiful divine judgment from Sawo. But no more CC, quick sand guard by Edward. He might be able to survive this one. Flickers out to safety. Agent Zero gets out.
Taking a kneel and flickering away in clean fashion.
Apparently the corrosion scythe isn't enough yet for Carvey. He might need 2. Heck, he might need 3.
He might. And now Sensui is doing a good job at actually just zoning Magister away. 1-to-1 in turtles. The third turtle of the game spawning now. And Black was our first onto it. Edward, even though he was poked down, now jumps in, penalty zone, locks onto 2, but Yue does the same thing. Edward gonna be chunked down and taken out, executed. Kid Bomba taken low. Sensui finds the turtle. As Sunset Lover pops the glooms down. A good taunt from Sensui. The Filipino sniper not able to find his mark.
So Deus Volt does come out taking a kill almost each time they have an engagement, but still Blacklist International secures the third and final turtle of Game 3.
Personal opinion, I kind of feel like that's more worth it for Blacklist International because Deus Volt, the only way that they can neutralize the lead is if they got 1 more kill. And if most of the members have an assist, if they got 3, it would have been Deus Volt victory there.
Part 2, Raging Sandstorm this time, just used up, gets out, and Deus Volt, they're not able to really look for these proactive maneuvers.
Right now looking at the items as well for the gold laners, both gold laners have 2 items, but I would say the impact is bigger for OHEB because it's a bigger power spike for the Beatrix.
All right, Blacklist now trying to fight back. Deus Volt have kind of held up the aggression in these fights, so we gotta watch because this is about the time that Blacklist normally hits that rubber band. Right around 8 to 9 minutes is when Blacklist finds that spike. They find that moment. They find that groove when all 5 of them can group together and try to push in.
Penalty zone. Oh, out to 3 full barrage. Just a full barrage, not in range though. Kid Bomba with the one isolated, and now the Raging Sandstorm from Edward connects Yue. Flickers out to the holy healing. A perfect skirmish for Blacklist International. Deus Volt down 2 members.
That's not what you want to see as a Deus Volt fan. The idea was there, but the spacing wasn't, and now they're gonna get cornered.
Edward jumping in with the hammer. Oh! Box him down, the Appraiser's Wrath used up. Sunset Lover pops into black shoes. Magister now caught underneath between the 2 turrets in the mid lane. But Blacklist International, they'll take that win and they'll step away.
You know, when that first fight went down, Deus Volt started it. I thought for sure Carvey might have used the flicker. Wait, Sawo.
We're gonna Divine Judgment, locking OHEB down. A penalty zone as well. OHEB still doing a lot of damage, but it's not gonna be enough. It's Yue. Pops in the penalty zone. A DPZ for himself. Deus Volt kiting back. Holy baptism from Renegade. The Hitman turned to heel man. Turns it around again. Deus Volt forced to run back to their turrets.
Once again, Deus Volt looks for the play, but Blacklist counters time and time again. Deus Volt just can't get a full win here.
You said it right, man. Blacklist, they keep doing it. Whenever they're running away, they're not really running away. It's a setup. They're getting ready for a bite back. And the thing is, Deus Volt they just keep going for it. Like, Sensui was a superstar just now. Taunting 2, making it easy for the Hitman to get the Holy Baptism, that was amazing.
They're 2 to 3 steps ahead every single time. Deus Volt are going in with these honest initiations, and Blacklist have so much up their sleeve.
Now, with the items finally, coming into this mid-late, what are we looking at, LaFell?
It's scary. 8.4k on the Beatrix. The Beatrix has 3 items completed. The Ixia only has 2. And Renegade now having the Enchanted Talisman as well. They can do this Lord Dance all day. They got the mana regeneration. They got the cooldowns.
Yeah, and this has been the story for the past few games. OHEB has just had a free lane, and as long as OHEB gets a free lane, it is a problem, especially on something like this, a super comfort pick for him. Conceal play, though.
Not going to find anything. Blacklist International read that out with Edward earlier. And now Deus Volt, they take control more. Better space, I would say, around this Lord Pit, but Blacklist just are holding on to it. Sensui's holding on to the Lord. He's not going to be giving it over to Deus Volt as the bottom side of the map will be cleared out. Deus Volt holding it down still, and Sensui is denying this reset from Deus Volt. Kibamba taught it up. Holy Baptist connecting as well. Raging Sandstorm to the back. Sawo going to be gone away with a penalty zone. And with some damage. Oh! Harvey turns it around. Sensui finds the Lord. Magister running for dear life. In Blacklist International, they lose 2, but they find a big, big objective.
I would say I see what Deus Volt was trying to do. They tried to split the map up, having 2 different squads. You're going to go for the Lord. We're going to going for the kills. We're going to look at the instant replay here. Looking at the positioning coming in from Deus Volt. 2-man Magister as well as Kid Bomba there on the side. Sawa was there, was able to basically protect Harvey in the backside, making sure that they deal the damage. But when it comes to kills and deaths, it's 2 for 2. But Blacklist, having the Lord, especially with their goal lead, it is still Blacklist's favorite.
Yeah, but there again, if Magister could have just got the 50-50 there, we would be telling a different story. It'd be 2 for 2 in the hands of Deus Volt with the Lord, though. And this is becoming the problem.
Samo's opening up Divine Judgment with a full barrage. Also, Sensui just tanks it up. That's a damage coming out from Oheb. A 4-man penalty zone, but Oheb is able to flicker. Outraging Sandstorm coming down. Connecting on a Magister. The crowd goes wild. Deus Volt getting the health bars of Blacklist really low, but unable to execute anyone. Meanwhile, bottom lane, that's a base turret taken down.
What do they do here? Carvey, even when he's getting a full barrage, he's not...
Oh! 3 shots back to back to back. They're feeling it. Sunset number 4 to use the Purify in the back shoes. Yue chasing it down. What a dangerous wrath! And the 4th shot in a row for the Filipino sniper.
Blacklist International are ramping up the pace. They're trying to end this soon.
Dude, the damage from Blacklist is unreal. What can Deus Volt do?
Holy Baptist and Raging Sandstorm. Everything in the kitchen sink to send the home ground favorites to the lower bracket finals. Blacklist International have swept Deus Volt.
That one felt like a UFC fight night. The punch connected. Deus Volt got dizzy, and Blacklist International went in for the kill. Another couple jabs, and Deus Volt fall.
Going into the boxing ring against Blacklist International, man. I don't know. Any arena feels like a bloodbath. And Blacklist International, they're masters of this, man. They're bobbing and weaving. They're dodging.
I mean, guys.
But more importantly, they hit back hard.
Guys, they literally brought a sniper to a boxing match.
Dude.
The way that went, though, once they caught him, man, Deus Volt were not able to stop them at all. I am speechless, but I'm sure our wonderful analysts have got a lot of words to say about that one. Or over to our host.
A clean sweep for Blacklist International. But for now, may we please a warm round of applause for Daewoo, Sunset Lover, Magister, Carvey, Kid Bomba, Sawa, and of course, Coach Fly Solo. Coach Fly Solo, if we can have Coach. All right, before I turn the mic or I hand the mic to Kid Bomba, let's hear first from Coach Fly Solo. Coach Fly Solo, what a great run. Again, the dark horse of the tournament. Can you talk about your performance, not today, but the whole tournament, and please send a message to your fans.
Actually, I didn't expect that we will make it like top 4 or top 3 like that. And yeah, I'm so proud that we went from far. And tsaka, of course, kailangan namin improve yung mga macro and micro at the same time. So babawi kami next season.
Yeah, for sure. We can look forward to next season for Daewoo. A lot of things to improve on, but a lot of things to take to the off-season that were really great points for all of you. All right. Let's hand the mic to Kid Bomba. Kid Bomba, you're a fan favorite. Any last words?
Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting Devu. I hope you're gonna watch us play in the upcoming tournaments as well. And the next one, we're gonna win.
All right. One last time for M5. Can we have the Sioux? One last. Last one. Palakpakan natin, mga kapatid. Last one. Last one for everyone here.
Three, two, one.
All right. Devu, please take your final bow. Your journey ends here. Thank you very much. And we'll see you all again next year. What a great tournament for all of you. Agents! A sweep for your Blacklist International! Let's start with Rene J. Nagkakagulo sila dito. They're going crazy. I just want you to tell us your thoughts about this performance. A sweep for all of you. How did you prepare for this one? And you made sure maganda yung simula ninyo. You had a good start compared to yesterday na natalo kayo dun sa unang laban.
Yun po, yung focus lang po talaga kami yung kasi dalawa din, if ever na nalalo po kami, di ba? So, dalawa po yung laban namin ngayon. Kaya talagang tinry po namin i-sweep para medyo malas yung pagod namin. Kaya yan, thank you Lord kasi na-sweep po namin.
Yeah, they tried to go for the sweep because they didn't want to jeopardize their game later against, of course, the loser of the next series because they wanted to make sure that they were fresh heading to their matchup later on. Oheb!
Yo!
The Filipino sniper! Talk to us about that performance. You saved the best for last. Alam naman ng lahat, Beatrice is your hero. Ikaw yan. Alam mo kung anong gagawin. Can you talk about this performance individually and as a team?
Matagal ko na rin gustong gamitin si Bea sa dito sa tournament kaso bihira lang siya mapasok kasi dahil sa mga open na marksman. Yun kanina natawa ako kasi na-pick ko ulit siya. Ayun na siguro.
Edward, Sensui, UA, final words? Or actually, invite nyo sila mamaya kasi maganda yung laban ninyo kung sino man makakalaban. So please, iano mo naman yung agents ninyo, nagkakagulo sila. UA, Sensui, Oheb, UA, Sensui, go ahead. Edward, invite nyo lang mamaya. Anong may expect natin mamaya sa inyo kung sino man ang makakalaban ninyo?
Salamat po sa mga agents na pumunta ngayon. Sana supportan niyo pa kami sa mamaya namin laban to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
All right, your Blacklist International, take a bow. What a performance. And your journey will continue later on. We will wait on who wins the next series and who loses because the loser will take on Blacklist International for the right to enter your M5 World Championship Grand Finals. Analysts, take it away.
Thanks, Tito Mikey. Again, reminding us how Oheb the best for last from Singapore with his Grand Finals MVP performance to today, winning a sweep against Deus Volt. Oheb on the Beatrix. It makes my insides all fuzzy.
Yeah, I think that I can fairly remember both of us actually in that stage, being amazed of how good the Oheb was. But I think that this particular game, in particular series, Versado Blacklist International was perfectly won by Blacklist because of the style that they're playing and how proven this Ube strategy is going up against an aggressive team like Devu. The box that they were able to build in many stages in this game was perfect.
Which throws back to the M4 World Championships metagame. If you'll remember, the heroes that were big during that time, Eve, Farsa, it was all about drawing a box, Akai, disrupting that box. They brought that back here. So we're not only throwing back to M3 in Singapore, beautiful Suntech, that arena, the very first we had live with an audience. Also back to indoor tennis Senayan in Jakarta. So already it's coming into full circle. I can't believe how as we lead up to tomorrow's grand finals, we're seeing remnants of the past come back to show us what this new metagame brings. With that said, let's bring out our MVP. We're awarding Game 3's performance. Wouldn't be possible without, of course, Blacklist International's very own Sensui. Dare I say, this is the best since we've seen since their bout against Onyx. That 3-2 performance, this is the Sensui with the divine retribution.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna back that out because I think that the movements as you saw from Sensui all throughout this game, very, very fluid. It started with how they were able to farm and get the advantage, and they're not spreading themselves thinly. I would say that Sensui knew exactly when to go and when not to go to aid his teammates. And we can see even look at this invade, he goes back to help his teammates as well as taunt Magister so that Magister will not be able to follow up. So he's really mindful of his surroundings, that he's controlling the tempo of the specific skirmish that allows Blacklist International to, again, re-establish their box. It's all about the box, building the box here for the side of Blacklist International. By the way, Yue, look at that. Beautiful chain of events, chain of spells. And at the same time, Renegade and Oheb, this is an inseparable duo now.
Yep, and again, it's not like it's Blacklist who set the pace. Again, Deus Vult always the aggressors, ever the forward pushing lineup, combat ready at all times, which came to their detriment at some points wherein there was a fight here, I think earlier, before even the 13-minute mark, where they were going in one at a time.
Yes, sir.
If only it was perfectly placed, if Sao started with the Divine Judgment, it would have gone well. But again, when you're playing against Blacklist who are so good at timers, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, this is a very scientific approach coming out from the side of Blacklist International. Dare I say, though, geometric approach. Because of, I'm talking about space here, right? Every time that they set up their box, you can literally see all of their positioning where they have influence over one